Trailblazer football, let's go. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster here live on the Fan Sports Network and Trailblazer Sports Vision. And Caden, this is a road stretch for the Trailblazers. 3 out of the next 4 are on the road looking for their first win of the season, and it won't be easy as they take on number 12 or number 15, UC Davis, depending on which poll you look at.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough stretch here again with lots of road games. UC Davis now. Next week is homecoming, so that's exciting against Abilene Christian. But then the stretch through October, only one game in all of October. So you're right. It's definitely going to be a long stretch here. But listen, one game at a time. UC Davis, as you mentioned, tonight. And it's going to be an uphill battle. Anytime you're facing a ranked team, you know you got your work cut out for you.
Pregame show brought to you by Sport Court of Southern Utah, Sand Hall Resort, Sun State Companies, Ernie's 2, Sinclair Station, and, of course, Swinson and Shelley, your local attorneys. If you've been in an accident, get with Swinson and Shelley. We got lots to get into. We're going to hear from Reggie Graff, Scooter Jackson. Caden, you caught up with the special teams coach. So we got lots to pack in here the first 30 minutes of our pregame show.
We do a lot to get to, a lot of great interviews and getting us ready for game day right here against UC Davis.
Utah Tech has played UC Davis once all time. It was back in the 2021 season. We're still dealing with the COVID and all that. And it was a 60-27 final score. So they're 0-1 all time. But whole new era, whole new coaching staff, and a brand new quarterback. Looks like Reggie Graff is going to get the start tonight for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing. That's what we're hearing. And that's really exciting news for the local kid out of Dixie High School. And I like this because, listen, he's been able to be really mobile back there at the quarterback position. You know, he can run the ball, and that's kind of what they started him out as a quarterback that can run the ball. They've had packages for him to do that. But because he's so mobile, he can scramble. If the pressure's getting to him, he's able to scramble out and still get some good passes off. I kind of like this move of making him a starting quarterback.
You'll get to hear from Reggie Graff coming up in just a few minutes. I mean, it was a long layoff. He was a star at Dixie High School here in St. George and then went on an LDS mission, came back. He's been with the program for the past 2 seasons, including a redshirt year, but finally seen his first action, threw a touchdown, the first in his career last week. We'll ask him about that. Of course, NAU was a Big Sky team last year that they were able to win. That's their only Big Sky win ever. This would be number 2 if the Trailblazers could upset the Aggies on the road. Last week, hey, it was a battle up in Cedar City, and UC Davis came out on top 24-21. So UC Davis coming in with a win, and the Trailblazers looking for their first win of the season.
Yeah, it was a good game against SUU this last week for UC Davis. For those of you that watched it, kind of came down to the wire for both those teams. And SUU's a solid team, but they couldn't pull it out. But it's Utah Tech's turn tonight, and we'll see how they fare.
Lan Larison, remember the name. Rod's going to say that a lot during the broadcast tonight against the T-Birds. He had 15 carries, 88 yards, but they used him in the passing game too. 7 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. A lot of people think this kid from Caldwell, Idaho could have NFL potential.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's averaging 91 rushing yards a game, and that in itself is extremely impressive. Watch out for number 3.
Also, you're going to hear Miles Hastings, the quarterback against the T-Birds for the Aggies. 24 of 30, really good completion percentage, 266 yards, 2 touchdowns, did have 1 interception. All right, the guests are rolling in. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster here on the Fan Sports Network, Trailblazer Sports Vision, and we're going to take a break. When we come back, you're going to hear from Scooter Jackson and Reggie Graff, some of the players leading you right up to kickoff tonight. It's the Blazers and the Aggies on the Fan Sports Network.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Scooter Jackson with me here, and we're getting ready for big game day again. Utah Tech back out on the road to talk our take on UC Davis. We'll get to that game in just a second, but Scooter, want to get to know you a little bit, recap last week, and first off, tell everybody where you're from, a little bit about yourself, and how you chose Utah Tech.
Scooter Jackson from Compton, California, the defensive back. Got to Utah Tech from last staff, recruited me very hard. And as soon as when I went on my visit to St. George, it felt like home.
Biggest fan? Who's Scooter Jackson's biggest fan? Somebody back home, maybe?
Yeah, my 3 brothers, 2 youngest, older.
Give them a shout out.
Veer, Rylan, and Hunter.
All right, there you go. There you go. They get aspiring college football athletes like yourself?
Correct.
Are they any good?
Yeah. My older brother played at the University of Utah.
Okay, all right. It runs in the family then.
Yeah.
Scooter, talk to me a little bit about the first 3 weeks of the season and gearing up for week 4, searching for that first victory.
It hasn't been how we expected it to go or wanted to go, but we're just going to keep on rolling. We're getting the ball rolling defensively wise, trying to play a little more man coverage. Offensively wise, trying to get the ball rolling. We got my guy Reggie starting this week. This week we should come out with victorious.
What's it like playing Coach Moynihan's defensive scheme? I mean, you were here last year. This is your second year here. How's it different, and how do you like it?
Honestly, Coach Moynihan defense, I'm just learning a lot about football. He's teaching me to become a complete defensive back. Just like the one thing that Coach Moynihan always tells me and he wants me to work on is just seeing the game more, becoming more of an elite player, making plus plays.
Is there any personal goals you have for this season? Amount of breakups? Is no certain number of interceptions that you've set for yourself this year?
Honestly, I usually don't set any goals, but this year I set some goals where I wanted to get 8 interceptions and lead the FCS in interceptions.
Okay, all right. We got some work to do to get that number, though.
Of course.
I mean, we need 2 this week, right?
Yes.
What do you see on film from the Aggies offense?
I see they have some nice receivers, some pretty good receivers. They have a nice running back in the backfield, and they're just a pretty good team all around.
Do you guys feel like you got a good game plan going out there to California?
Of course, I feel like we always have a good game plan. It's just up to us to execute the game plan.
What's maybe a pregame ritual that you're going to do? You're sitting in California. You're an hour before kickoff. What's the routine for you getting ready for game time?
Usually before the game, before we play, like a couple hours before we play, I like to listen to a little bouncy music, like some Kalen for real, like Nipsey Hussle, Bossman D-Lo. And then like towards the game, like when it's like 30 minutes, 20 minutes towards the game, I like to listen to like a little like softer music to calm me down, calm the nerves down.
Good stuff, man. You sound like you got a pretty good taste in music.
Yeah.
You get a wide range on the playlist.
Yeah.
If there was a DJ on this team, would you want to do it? Like, say you're all together and you get to choose the music. Are you taking over?
Nah, I wouldn't. Nah.
Let one of the upperclassmen handle that.
Nah, just anybody else, not me.
What do you want to do? Tell everybody what you're studying and what your career aspirations are.
Well, the main goal is to go to the NFL, but of course, if that didn't work, I would want to go into business management to where I can do a different variety of things.
Scooter Jackson, everybody watch for him. Utah Tech getting closer to kickoff against the Aggies. Thanks for the time, buddy. Good to get to know you a little bit.
Appreciate you.
Reggie Graff with me here, getting ready for the next Trailblazer football game. Reggie, what's going on, bud?
Nothing much, just getting ready for the game.
I kind of feel like a throwback to your high school days where I was getting to talk with you forever, but it's been a long time coming, and here we are chatting about Utah Tech football, man. It's been, I think, 5 years since you played an actual football game and obviously got in that first game of the season, and you've had packages that have been in every game this year, but you're coming off your first career touchdown pass. Take me through that play last week against Northern Arizona where you threw your first career touchdown pass.
Yeah, I mean, Coach called my favorite play. I mean, a couple months ago we went through what our favorite play is, and he called my favorite play. It's a simple read on the safety. If he comes down on the dig, we're going to throw it over the top. So, just put my eyes to the safety. He came down, was able to make a decent throw to True, and he made a great catch in the back of the end zone.
This is fun. You've got a lot of Region 9 players on the Utah Tech team this year. I think if I counted the roster, there'd be 13 or 14 guys. Do you take a little pride in the fact that you're, playing in your hometown where you grew up, going to Dixie High School?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think back when I was growing up, like, you didn't really want to play here at Dixie State. Now it's Utah Tech. But I think, the name change and so many other things have just grown this community and grown this university. So, I definitely take pride in playing here.
At the end of the day, it's your hometown, and it's now
absolutely.
FBS Division I football, and you guys playing in the WAC or the UAC the last couple of years. Size up the conference, size up the early part of the schedule. It's obviously been a tough challenge the first 3 weeks of the year against 3 good teams.
Yeah, we've played 3 really good teams. Obviously, Montana State was probably, I think they're number 1 or number 2 right now in FCS. UNLV, very good FBS Mountain West team. and NAU played a really good game against us. So, there's no better way to start a season though. We get to see where we need to be. We get to see some really good teams and where we need to be. So, hopefully it'll prepare us for conference.
Sitting around here after your mission, you've been with the program for 2 years. This is your third year. How rewarding is it to finally get reps in a game? And I know you're in line and could potentially make your first start this Saturday night.
It just feels good. When Coach called me and said, "Hey, you're gonna take the 1 reps this week, and you got to keep working this week at practice," obviously it felt very relieving, but also there's a little bit of pressure when it comes to that, because being a starting quarterback of a Division I university is a big deal. But just take it one play at a time, and that's what you can do.
How much work have you put in? Try to describe, the off season and all the practice, all the spring balls, for years without actually getting on the field. And it's got to put a smile on your face knowing that you're getting reps.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an everyday thing. What you eat, when you're sleeping, all the conditioning, all the lifts, all the practices. I've gone through 2 full seasons, 2 spring. So it's been a lot of reps, and I'm just happy I get to, show what I can do on the field.
Who's your biggest fan? Is it mom? Is it dad? Is it one of your brothers?
I think it's my dad. He comes and parks up at the top of the field and watches our game or our practices just to see me do some reps. Even it was last year when I was doing scout team. So he's definitely one of my biggest fans. My mom screams in the stands too, so she's awesome. Can your dad sit down during games, or are you too nervous? I don't think he really sits by my family. I think he's up there next to him, but he gets nervous. He stands around. Do you get nervous? Say you get the start Saturday night. Will there be nerves? If you don't get nervous, I don't think you care. So obviously there's a little bit of nerves that comes into it, but it's also a lot of excitement. And I think that is, what you need, because you care and you want to be good. What have the coaches been telling you? Obviously, change of the coaching staff. I'm curious the difference there. But what were the coaches saying as far as what you need to work on to get to the point where, hey, you can take the reins over and be the number 1 guy here, QB1 at Utah Tech? Yeah, I think when I came back from my mission, I needed to work on my arm quite a bit, just getting a little bit stronger and a little bit more accurate. And over the last couple of years, I feel like I've improved a lot with that. Obviously, I love to run the ball, but throwing the ball, it's what quarterback's all about. So I think that was kind of the number 1 thing, and I feel like I've improved quite a bit, and I'm ready to show it this Saturday. First couple games of the season, you were just running, and I think you had 1 pass, but last week they kind of gave you extended minutes, and you got to throw the ball around. I think you were 8 of 17 or something like that. How did it feel to actually unleash the arm and know that you got some extended playing time? No, it felt good. I wasn't expecting it. Obviously, it was sad to see Deacon go down, but that's what we practice for, is to be ready for those situations. So luckily I was paying attention in practice, and I was able to make those reads. How's the chemistry with your receivers been this week in practice, getting ready for this next football game? Very good. I think I feel like there's a kind of a little new excitement here in practice, and I think we're really excited for what coaches put in for this week, and I think it's going to be a very good week. Without giving any secrets away, what do you see on film? I'm sure you went and watched the game. They won in Cedar City 24-21 last week. This is a good top 20 ranked team. Yeah. Versus SUU, played a lot of man. They put a little pressure on them, but I think they're a very sound team. They know their assignment. They're going to do it, and so we're going to have to play a very good game. But hopefully we can what Coach Stevens has in store for us can do a little bit of misdirection or whatever it is, and hopefully we can move the ball quite a bit on them. What's the biggest difference between the offense last year and now Coach Stevens' offense this year from the quarterback position? I think kind of the biggest thing is Coach Stevens able to adjust the offense to the quarterback's needs. Obviously for me, being a little bit more of a dual threat, we can run the ball a little bit more. With Deacon, he's more of a pocket passer, and so he's going to be throwing the ball a little bit more. So I felt like last year, we were pretty one-dimensional, but this year, we can work both ways. Reggie Graff, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Always good to chat with you, and good luck against the Aggies. Thanks, Dad.
Welcome back, everybody, here on the Fan Sports Network. Your home for Trailblazer football. Also coming at you on YouTube, Trailblazer Sports Vision. Devin Dixon, Caden Formaster. Show presented by Sandhall Resort. Get out and play their 18 championship hole course, their Scottish 9-hole course, and a little hidden secret. The restaurant out there, the grill at Sandhall Resort, is open to the public, and they have an unbelievable Sunday brunch. Worth the drive out to Sandhall Resort. How about that from Reggie Graff? Such a good kid, local kid. Kind of fun to have the hometown kid playing Division I football where he grew up and he was sensational last week. Cade, 9 of 17, 100 yards, and his first career touchdown, like we mentioned earlier, and also the leading rusher, 14 carries for a net of 54 yards. And Coach Anderson, in his first career start, hoping a bunch more yardage, passing and rushing from Reggie.
Yeah, you want to see him really get out there and perform in multiple ways. And that's something we had kind of talked about earlier in the show. This is something he can do, is he is really a dual threat quarterback. He can run with the best of them, and he's mobile. He can find ways to evade the defensive pressure coming at him and still get good passes off. And it helps when you have guys like Chris Street right alongside you that can help run the ball, and you're starting to find the targets that you like in your receiver core. So I really like where things are headed right now with this Utah Tech offense.
Yeah, True Tanner caught that touchdown pass. He was your leading receiver last week. See if they can hook up a little bit more. Eric Olson, another former Region 9 player, he had 2 catches for 36 yards. Thomason had 2 catches. Street had 3 out of the backfield. Damani Wilkes had 2. So in that game, albeit a loss against NAU, I think you had over 10 different Trailblazers catch football passes in that game.
Yeah, it was really good, and it's nice to see some of the, it's always nice for us to see the local kids get involved, Reggie Graff being one of them, and as you mentioned, Eric Olson at that tight end position, he's starting to find his rhythm and find his zone, but plenty of other guys that have come into the system that are starting to make it work for them.
One of the things I thought maybe when I asked Reggie, it's been 5 years since you've played in a game and thrown a touchdown pass. You had to go back to his high school playing days, and I thought he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it's a sigh of relief," or "Oh my gosh, it feels so good." But he's so mature and he's so level. He just kind of took it in stride. I think he's really ready for this opportunity, getting the start tonight for Utah Tech. All right, we're not done. Lots more coming up. When we come back, we'll hear from the special teams coach. Caden goes one-on-one. It's our Coordinator's Corner, brought to you by Ernie's Stores. We'll take the break. Be right back.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
Oh, hello, Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's. Ciao, freshly baked bread piled with Italian-style meats. Hey, hand-sliced veggies. Am I obsessed with this sandwich? Yeah. So what if I am? Jimmy John's. Order online or on the app.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
At Great Harvest, we believe in crafting more than just bread. We provide crisp, garden-fresh salads and savory sandwiches. Everything from garden-fresh ingredients to our signature handcrafted bread. Our friendly staff will guide you to find a meal that will leave you craving seconds. At Great Harvest, we truly provide something for everyone. And don't forget our baked goods. Satisfy your sweet tooth and finish your meal with a brownie or cinnamon roll. Come visit us at Great Harvest.
In today's Coordinator Corner, we have Special Teams Coordinator, Coach Bonner Bordelon. Welcome into Coordinator's Corner today. Happy to have you in the studio with us. We're getting ready for game day against UC Davis. Welcome into the show.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
So let's talk a little bit about you, your history, where you come from. Tell me where you grew up, where you're from.
Yes, so I grew up in Louisiana. I lived in multiple parts of the state, but I call North Louisiana home. Bastrop, Louisiana is home. So I was there for all of my life until several years ago when I moved to Dallas and began coaching college ball.
Okay, so when you started out in Louisiana, moved to Texas, as a player, what position did you play in high school? And
so just growing up through high school, I went to a small school, so I played all kinds of positions. And then once I got to college, I ended up just going to school and then going to work. So I worked for several years, just working construction, landscaping, whatever the case may be, just whatever job I could find for several years. And then I actually wanted to get back into football, coaching specifically. And when I was 28, I went back to coaching high school football for a year and then just applied for all kinds of internships in colleges all across the country and got a yes. It was the only yes that I got from any college at SMU in Dallas. Coach Sonny Dykes was the head coach there at the time. So I got an opportunity to have like an intern position there at SMU and just stuck with that staff for several years.
That's amazing. So you took a little bit of a hiatus from football. You don't see that a whole lot in our college coaches, is where they take a little bit of a break and do other things. So that's great. I mean, talk about applying yourself, right?
Yeah, so with that comes a little bit of luck. You have to just kind of get in where you fit in, really. But I was really lucky and blessed that it happened with such a great staff. I am where I am because the people that surrounded me and helped me get here. Just got a little bit lucky there at the beginning, and sometimes that's really what you need, is just a little bit of an open door, and you just get in, and then things typically just fall into place after that.
So tell me about your transition then from going from SMU. How'd you get from SMU to Utah Tech?
Yeah, so I was at SMU for 3 years, and I had a variety of roles from operations, recruiting, offense, defense, special teams. My final year at SMU was 2021, and I was working with the defense and special teams. And then Coach Sonny Dykes was offered the TCU head coaching job and offered me a position as the special teams assistant at TCU. So I went with him to TCU for a couple of years. I was there for 2 years, 2022 and 2023. And then earlier this year, early 2024, through the coaching grapevine, heard about Coach Anderson looking for a special teams coordinator, and through just mutual contacts, threw my name in, to be interviewed for it, and then got involved in that process. So that's how I ended up here at Utah Tech.
Southern Utah, a little different than Texas.
Quite different.
How do you like it here so far?
I love it. It's a great spot, great weather. People are super nice. It's really been fun. It's really been interesting to just be in a different part of the country, different group of people, different culture, different everything. And so it's been really fun, and it's helped me adapt and change and grow and just experience different things. It's been an adventure.
Our Cajun food isn't as good.
No, I don't even know if there is a
I don't even know
spot.
if there is Cajun food around here, but
Right.
but I bet that's probably something you might miss from the Louisiana days, huh?
Yeah, I love Cajun food. So,
yeah, and Tex-Mex. I mean, we have a little bit of the Mexican flair here, but some Tex-Mex food's always good as well.
Texas barbecue is certainly missed a little bit.
Texas barbecue as well. Yeah, some good old brisket or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you here with us in Southern Utah and being a part of this Utah Tech team. So take us through some special teams so far. I mean, we've had guys like Andy Day, for example, as a punter who we've seen a lot from. And I know sometimes for special teams, guys like him, you'd rather him not be on the field because it means you're scoring touchdowns, or at least you're getting in field goal range. But he's kind of been a bright spot as a punter. Tell me about some of the guys on the special teams that have been kind of your go-to as guys that you can rely on to do a good job.
Yeah, so it all starts with Andy because he's gotten the most work so far this year. He's done a good job of just putting us in position for the most part, to have good field position to help our defense out. We've had a couple get away from us punting wise, but he's had a lot on his plate so far this year, and he's done a good job of handling that. Andy's a very consistent guy, so that really starts with mentality, especially with specialists, but with all football players, and he's super consistent. So really happy for him that he's been able to do that. Ilya, our kicker, he's kicked the ball off really, really well. Several touchbacks, balls are going into the end zone, so that helps our team as a whole that we're able to kick touchbacks, and our team isn't having to cover so many kickoffs full speed and tackling and all that. It's from an injury perspective and a wear and tear perspective, that's a good thing. He's only had the opportunity to kick a couple of field goals, attempt a couple of field goals, and he made a 48-yarder last week. So happy for him that he's just getting in that groove, and he has some confidence going into his first year as being a true starting field goal kicker. Ryan Keene is our long snapper, and he is the leader of the group. He's really, really trustworthy, really dependable. Again, super consistent, same guy every day, and he has the respect from the entire roster, not just the specialist room. So he's super, super dependable. And then we have a number of guys, whether it's offensive players, defensive players, skill positions, mid-skill positions, who are super trustworthy that I depend on down in and down out on special teams to help us win the down, starting with Chris Street, Spencer Rich, guys like that who are super dependable and always up for any task that I ask them to do.
So going up against UC Davis, just last week they were playing 40 minutes north of us over at Southern Utah. So tell me a little bit about what you guys have kind of scouted out from them. What kind of team are they, and what can we expect coming into this game this week?
Yeah, UC Davis, they're always really good. They're always physical. They always have good size, and they're always sound. That's one thing that I can say about them is they're sound. They will be a tall task for us. They're a great team. We've played really This is week 4, and this is the 4th really, really good team that we've played. So we are not short on facing competition so far. They will be a challenge. They're really sound, really good with their fundamentals. You don't see them make a lot of mistakes on film. Special teams wise, they are really, really good at all their units: kickoff return, punt return. To me, their best aspect is their punt return. They have a really good returner, and they do really, really good job in hold up and just getting their hands on you and being physical. And all their other special teams are really, really sound as well. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
As a special teams guy, I do want to ask you a question that's not college football related yet, but maybe one day it could be. The NFL has changed the kickoff rules, and I'm sure you've seen it, and maybe you've studied it just a little bit. I don't know, but from what you've seen with the NFL kickoff rules, do you feel like that's an improvement to the game, or do you kind of like the way that college has been doing it?
I like the traditional kickoff, the way college is doing it, but the NFL kickoff will eventually trickle down. I don't know when, but it will happen sooner rather than later. And for the overall sake of the game, it's probably the best thing, just keeping kids healthy. We don't want to see any of the head injuries or any injuries at all, but specifically the head injuries that the kickoff was causing. So I believe that it'll trickle down to the college game, and we'll welcome it and we'll learn it, and we'll do a great job of implementing it and just taking advantage of the rules. I think it'll be fun to get the kickoff back in the game. In college, we aren't seeing as many touchbacks as the NFL was seeing, but we are seeing a lot of touchbacks. So just getting that play back in the game, it'll be fun to see.
I love that. All right, Coach, thank you for joining us today in Coordinator's Corner, and best of luck against UC Davis this week.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
All right, we're going to take a break. More on the other side here with the Fan Sports Network.
Hey, St. George, this is Brian. I'm the new owner of your local Everbowl. Looking for a delicious, nutritious meal? Come to Everbowl. Our acai bowls are packed with superfoods to fuel your day. And it's where Region 9 sports fans fuel up.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out, with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Welcome back, everybody, here on the Fan Sports Network and Trailblazer Sports Vision, presented by Sand Hollow Resort, Ernie's 2, and our friends at Swenson and Shelley, and our friends at Sport Court. We got so many great sponsors here. Sun State Companies as well, if you need some landscaping. All great partners of Utah Tech football here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden, I want to go back to Reggie Graff. I think that's the big storyline for a lot of locals. The local kid making his first career start. What kind of numbers, rushing and passing, do you think Reggie needs to put up to maybe put this quarterback controversy to rest and take over QB1 as you look forward maybe after this game to homecoming against Abilene Christian next week?
I think passing-wise, I'd like to see him get close to about 150. I feel like that's solid. You'd maybe like to see more than that, maybe push around the 200 mark, especially in college football, where there tends to be a little bit more when it comes to yardage that way. But here's the thing. If he's going to pass for 150, he's probably going to go out there and rush for 80. So those kind of numbers would really start to solidify him as being solid. That's like the minimum, though. That's the baseline. I think he can do more than that, especially passing-wise. But rushing, I'd like to see maybe around 50 from him. Again, and that's just because he's a rushing quarterback, but he doesn't have to get that far.
I actually agree with your numbers, because if you look at what Jackson Berry and Bronson Barron, the 2 quarterbacks that played against UC Davis last week, 81 yards for Barron, all kind of in the fourth quarter, and only 49 yards for Jackson Berry. Berry couldn't get much going, so they went to Barron, and he almost led the comeback win, but only 150 total passing yards between the 2 T-Bird quarterbacks last week. So I think you're spot on. Anything north of 200, and if he could have 100 yards rushing on top of that, if he could have 300 yards of offense, I'd say the Trailblazers right there in this game in the fourth quarter.
That would be insane. It'd be amazing. I'd love that.
Good stuff. We'll keep an eye on Reggie Graff as the night progresses. Wrapping things up here for us, but we're going to be going to Rod Zundel in just a second. Caden, final thoughts. Here we go. Kickoff about a half hour away.
Yeah, let's just get on into it. UC Davis, tough opponent, but UT's ready.
All right, 12th in one pool, 15th in another pool. This is the first of the next 3 out of 4 on the road. We'll have the Trailblazers home next week, like I mentioned, homecoming. But right now, we're getting closer to kickoff. We'll take a break. When we come back, Rod Zundel will get you ready for kickoff here on the Fan Sports Network and Trailblazer Sports Vision.
Hey, let's go. Let's get it, baby. Out 3, 1, 2, 3.
Garrett Fotuning. Ball on the ground. A fumble recovery by Tech. Makes the diving catch. Touchdown. Trailblazers.
Welcome to Trailblazer Kickoff, presented by Camping World of St. George. Your next great outdoor adventure begins under the big American flag.
Let's go!
The Trailblazers have arrived in Northern California, getting ready to hook up with the 12th ranked team in the country, UC Davis. We're 30 minutes from kick. Trailblazers and Aggies.
And welcome to Davis, California, everybody. It's a beautiful night here in Northern California, 85 degrees, no wind to speak of. Inside UC Davis Stadium, we are counting down the minutes until kickoff. Utah Tech and the Aggies of UC Davis. Hi there, everybody. Rod Zundel here. Glad to have you aboard tonight for Trailblazer Kickoff Show. The Trailblazers trying to break into the win column for the first time this season. They come in with a record of 0-3 after last week's loss at home against Northern Arizona. Meanwhile, the Aggies of UC Davis, they come in with a record of 2-1. They open up the season at Cal, losing to the Bears, but then they've rattled off 2 in a row, including last week in Cedar City, where they beat the T-Birds of Southern Utah by 24-21. Okay, changes. The guys talked about and talked with Reggie Graff, the former Dixie Flyer quarterback. It has been confirmed he will get the start tonight. It's his first start as a college quarterback in a Trailblazer uniform. So Reggie Graff getting the start tonight. Last week against Northern Arizona at home, he threw his first touchdown pass in a game. First time he's done that since the fall of 2019 when he was playing just a few blocks up the road at Dixie High School. On Tuesday night on the Lance Anderson Coaches Show, had a chance to catch up with Reggie and get his thoughts about playing more minutes, getting in the groove, and now the starter and leader of this offensive football team. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, so far this season, it's only been, plays here and there, 1 or 2, and so it kind of felt good to have some sustained drives to be able to kind of move the ball downfield and be able to throw it a little bit more than I have in the first couple of games, so it felt good.
First touchdown pass since high school in a game. What was that moment like for you?
Well, it felt pretty good. I mean, the thing is, football, we practice every day, and you're playing football every day, and so obviously you have a lot of opportunities to throw passes in practice, but to have it in front of fans and in a game-like setting, it felt pretty good.
So Reggie Graff and the rest of the Trailblazers getting ready to get this thing started. There you see Reggie right there warming up, number 5. He'll get the start tonight. Luke McPhail, the Syracuse transfer, he'll be the backup. And Bronson Barbin, another Dixie Flyer quarterback, freshman, he will also be a backup tonight to Reggie Graff. In the first 3 games, the Trailblazers used 3 quarterbacks, but don't expect that to happen tonight. Expect Reggie Graff to be the guy and go with him as long as they can unless something happens. Reggie Graff, it's his show to run, and he's going to have to use his legs and his arm if they want to get a win here on the road, the first one of the season. UC Davis, they're ranked 12th in the country. They're a good football team. We'll talk a little bit more about them. They're banged up as well, just like Utah Tech is. We'll run down the MASH unit coming up in just a minute. But first, let's go back to last Saturday night. Head coach Lance Anderson goes into the film room and shows us exactly what went right, but they just needed to do a little bit more of those good things. Here's Coach Anderson in this edition of Film Session against the Lumberjacks Saturday night in Northern Arizona.
Going to go back to the NAU game here and show you just a couple plays that were good examples of execution. Obviously, we need more of this, but we've shown that we're capable of it. We just need to get better execution overall. This first play on offense is what we would call a play-action bootleg, where the quarterback is going to roll out to his left. Our outside receiver, we're going to release him down the seam. We're going to put this receiver in motion, and then he's going to run a rail route. So what we're trying to do here is clear out the defense with these 2 routes. Then we're going to release this tight end across the formation out into the flat, and we're going to drag this tight end across the formation on what we call an over route. What we're trying to do here is put the flat defender in conflict and make him make a decision as to whether he's going to cover the flat route or whether he'll stay deep and cover the over route here. So let's take a look at this play. And you see the flat defender right here. You see his reaction. He's going to jump this flat route, and so now that tells the quarterback, I should make this throw to the tight end on the over route. So we'll continue to watch that develop. If I rewind that back, you can watch the full thing right now. You see the flat defender jump the route in the flat. Quarterback makes the throw to Eric Olson. He converts the first down here. Just a great example of execution on the offensive side there with that play action boot. Okay, next I want to move to a defensive play here. This was at the end of the first half. This was a critical stop on 3rd and 2 in order to be able to prevent NAU from putting more points on the board. We were able to get a stop, and we were able to force a punt here. I'm going to let this play for a minute. I think what you'll notice here on this play to begin with is NAU lines up in a formation, and then they all look to the sideline. What offenses are trying to get us to do is see what defense we're going to be in, and then they will switch the play to something that they think will work against that particular defense. So now you can see once the offense has their new play, you can see us move defensively. We were able to also look to the sideline and change the play. So NAU was probably expecting us to be in a different defense. We switch and we're in man coverage. So on the outside here, you're going to see everyone in man coverage, then with a free safety here in the middle of the field. This allows us to play good run defense because we're one-on-one on the outside. We're able to put more guys in the box here to help us stop the run. Now on this particular play, I want to have you look for a couple things. A couple key things to stopping the run. Number one is the edge that we get set here by this defensive end, Rick Muae. Also, we get some great knockback here by our defensive tackle, John Sniffen. And then from the linebackers, we get some great fits here in the run game. And again, one of the first things you'll notice is the edge set by the right defensive end, Rick Muae. You'll see some knockback from our defensive tackle, and then you see the stop there, bringing up 4th down. This is a great view here from the end zone, just seeing those fits from the inside linebackers, 36, Malachi Fakahua, and then 45, Spencer Rich. Now you see guys move as we've changed the defense that we're in. You look at the play, and just again, it starts with that great edge out here by Malachi Fakahua, or by Rick Muae, then Malachi with a great fit here, Spencer Rich with a great fit here over the top, gets the stop, brings up 4th down.
All right, there you see the Trailblazers heading back to the locker room. Just under 24 minutes remaining until kickoff. Utah Tech and the Aggies of UC Davis. Now, the Trailblazers have been banged up the last couple of games. Linebacker Jared Fotu and Jaron Polu missed the last 2 games. Fotu is warmed up and warming up today. He's dressed, so he's a possibility to play tonight. Brevin Hamlin got injured last week. He's dressed and he's warming up. He's a possibility to play. Not expected unless it's an emergency. And then Polu, he's not going to play tonight, linebacker. Defensive back Jagger Williams missed last week's game against Northern Arizona. He's dressed. He's warmed up. They're not expecting him to play, but he could. So they might have some guys back tonight for the Trailblazers, but in the absence of those guys last week, we found out about redshirt freshman Quincy Leger out of California. Did not register a tackle in the first couple of games, but he was a beast on the defensive side last week. He had 7 tackles. That was second on the team. And he was in the backfield a couple of different times for tackles for losses. So Quincy Leger is going to get some time tonight against the Aggies because of the absence of Jaron Polu, possibly Brevin Hamlin not playing, possibly Jared Fotu, the linebacker, not playing for the third game. So guys like Quincy Leger, Micah Gardner, Jackson Smith, they're going to be called up on tonight to fill in those gaps. Meanwhile, for UC Davis, they've got the best running back in the West in FCS. He's the Big Sky Offensive Player of the Year last week. Lan Larison had over 1,100 yards rushing last week. Last year. He's a preseason All-American. He's the second leading receiver on this team out of the backfield. So he's a guy that you're going to have to keep an eye on tonight. And Trailblazers, to offset his ability and his talent, they are going to bracket him and not just play him one-on-one. Every time he comes out of the backfield, they'll have an extra back or an extra linebacker kind of shade him and kind of bracket so he won't get loose like you saw there against Southern Utah last week and go for a 65-yard big chunk play. So expect a little double teaming, a little bracketing on their best player, Lan Larison. All right, time now to go back to last Saturday night at home in Greater Zion Stadium for this edition of Sounds of the Game against the Lumberjacks in Northern Arizona. And welcome inside Greater Zion Stadium. Let's go, UT! Glad to have you aboard tonight. UT. We're off and running out in the flat. Chris Street not going to get the first down. No, he is. Breaks 2 tackles. Ilya Yevadov with his first career field goal. Nowhere to go. Going to be a loss on that play. Another tackle for loss, and there's Buki again. But here comes the pressure, and down goes Flores.
Ball came out.
Reggie Graff makes a move, breaks outside the 30, the 25, and he's tackled out of bounds. To Nigel Osborne this time, tries to break it around the left side, and he tiptoes into the end zone. Touchdown, Trailblazers.
Let's go! Hey, let's go, D! Come on, dude! Let's go, D!
Just throws it into the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Trailblazers. True Tanner from Reggie Graff, 23 yards. Quincy Leger. Reggie rolling to his left, throwing back to his right. Derek Olson down the right sideline. And that will do it. Clock strike 0. Utah Tech still in search of their first win. And a big shout out to our Utah Tech student interns, Kelsa Lundstedt, Zoe Hansen, and Ben Dawson for putting the Sounds of the Game together for us to enjoy. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we will talk more about this game, get the final word from Coach Anderson, and we'll take you inside the helmet of Nigel Osborne at one in practice. That's when Trailblazer kickoff comes back. 18 and a half minutes to kickoff. Come on back. D.R. Horton is America's largest home builder, but with a local heart. Nestled just west of the Sand Hollow Recreation Area is a 600-acre master planned community with beautifully designed single-family homes, cottages, and townhomes called Long Valley. Visit us at drhorton.com and join us in continuing the American dream of home ownership and build your next home with D.R. Horton, America's builder.
Experience the magic of southern Utah from the sky and the ground at Confetti Pebbles Hot Air Balloons. They take you on breathtaking journeys across the stunning landscapes of St. George, Hurricane, and beyond. But why just visit when you can live here? Priority First Real Estate is dedicated to helping you find your dream home. Together, they bring you closer to the community, closer to nature, closer to home. Confetti Pebbles Hot Air Balloons and Priority First Real Estate, where adventure meets home.
Hey there, sports fans. Ready to take a timeout from the sidelines and jump into the action? St. George Regional Airport has you covered. Score big with convenient flights that take you from our Red Rocks to destinations around the globe. Whether it's the bright lights of LA or an exotic getaway across the Pacific, your adventure starts right here at home. When you're planning that epic getaway, St. George Regional Airport is your home field advantage. Welcome back to UC Davis Health Stadium here in Davis, California. We are under 17 minutes away from kickoff. Trailblazers and the Aggies, the UC Davis Aggie Marching Band out on the field getting ready for this one, and we are getting ready for this one as well. Time now to go under the helmet to get a bird's eye and point of view of what it's like to be a Trailblazer football player at one of the practice. Today's victim, running back Nigel Osborne. We get to see his perspective at a recent practice through the eyes and through the face mask of the running back, Nigel Osborne.
Hey, my name is Nigel Osborne from Inglewood, California. Let's go. Go, Stone! Go, Stone! Go, Stone! Go, Stone! Go, Stone! Go, Stone! Come on! Come on! Hey, that's how you do it. Hey, that's how you do it. That's how you run the ball, bro. I had to do it for 2 weeks. Come on. Come on. Hey, we gotta pick this up. Hey, we gotta pick this up. That's me. Hey, we gonna get it right. We gonna get it right. That's on me. You feel me? Hey, man. That was over holding me, bro.
Let go, Bonnie.
Let me get mine back.
Right, set.
Yes, sir. Come on, y'all. We're gonna get it, bro. We're gonna get this right. My boy Nigel is killing right now. Hey, man. He doing his thing. I appreciate him and all the bags. The O-line blocking for him. And we're just gonna keep on eating. Come on. We're gonna get it right. Come on. I love his team. Come on. Let's go.
Ace out!
Ace out. Ace out. Bro, they so trash, bro.
Good
job, Luke. Hey, that's how you pick it up. That's how you pick it up. Come on, bro. Come on. Hey, good job, some more. Hey, that's how you eat it and keep playing, boy. That's how you eat it and keep playing. Hey, good job. Hey, good job, bro. Hey, keep going, bro. Keep going, bro. It's too easy. 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 Hell yeah. It's too easy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hey. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Right there,
Come on. Oh, LeBron. Let's go. Let's go. It's easy. Come on. It's so easy.
Man, all here, man.
Come on. Come on.
That's how you run the football, baby. That's how you run the football. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up.
Good block, Daniel.
Yeah, you're not getting there if it's not for my block.
Yeah.
You're not getting there if it's not for my block.
Because of him.
It's AP. It's AP.
Come on.
Tuition.
Come on. I'm going to do it every time. Come on. Now let's root for my boys. Let's go. Let's go.
I came down on somebody right there.
Hell yeah. I seen that. Good blocks. All across the board. Nice touchdown, bro. Hey, thank you. Hey, Nigel. Hey, thank you. How do you feel about that touchdown right there? Very blessed. I thank God for it every minute. But hey, Mom.
I hope y'all enjoyed seeing what I was seeing. Hey, peace out. No Trailblazers.
All right, that was running back Nigel Osborne. Thanks for letting us tag along at one of your practices. All right, now we're going to take another break. We are 12 minutes away from kickoff. Trailblazers and Aggies, come on back, and we'll get the final word from head coach Lance Anderson on the Trailblazer Kickoff Show.
Welcome to St. George Academy, home of the Dragon Slayers, where academic excellence meets individualized learning right here in Southern Utah. At St. George Academy, we believe in challenging our students with rigorous curriculum, preparing them for a demanding college experience and beyond. And it's all tuition free. Our unique Pathway University program offers accelerated courses, allowing students to earn college credits in high school. Experience the St. George Academy difference, schedule your tour today, and join us on your educational journey.
Yesco is a proud partner of Trailblazer Sports Vision and Utah Tech Athletics. Yesco specializes in manufacture of custom electric signs and displays. From the smallest to the largest, Yesco can design, manufacture, install, and maintain an identification package that is tailored to your specific needs. Yesco has been serving Utah businesses for well over 100 years with quality signage and exceptional service. To see how Yesco can serve you, go to yesco.com.
Craving something sweet but healthy? Come to Berries and Cream, the original spot for fresh berries in our delicious sweet cream. Locally owned and operated right here in St. George. We offer a cold, refreshing treat that's perfect for the southern Utah climate. Fresh fruit has never tasted so good. Berries and Cream, the original taste of St. George.
Welcome back inside UC Davis Stadium. We are counting down the moments to kick off Utah Tech and UC Davis. And this is an Ag school, of course, the UC Davis Aggies. And driving here today, it kind of reminded us going up in Logan, Utah State Aggies. They had a whole block worth of dairy cows and a dairy farm. So kind of smelled like home. And they've got a horse and a rider here tonight. You love to see that. Kind of goes back to the old days, and got a horse here. So should be a fun night here in Davis, California. All right, now as we get ready to kick things off, let's get the final word from Utah Tech Trailblazer head football coach Lance Anderson on last week's game with Northern Arizona and looking ahead tonight against the Aggies. Here's Coach Anderson.
Good energy there at the end from everybody. That's what we need every week.
Coach, another week. You wrap up the non-conference schedule with another top 15 team in the country.
Yeah, another big challenge for us this week, but I mean, these games are certainly preparing us for conference play. This is another quality opponent. They're big, they're physical. We're going to have a lot of the same challenges this week. On defense, we've got to find a way to do a better job stopping the run. And on offense, we've got to get our run game going. We made some progress there last week, but it's going to be critical this week that we run the ball on offense.
On those same lines, you've seen improvement the last couple of weeks, little by little. So what is the next step you want to see Saturday night?
You know, we just keep talking about like all 11 guys that are on the field doing their job. So we get everybody doing their 1/11th, doing their part, trusting their training, trusting their technique. I think that's going to lead to better execution, and that's what we need to be more competitive.
And you got guys missing again, but how much have you talked about that, about being the next man up? I mean, it sounds like a broken record the last couple of weeks.
Exactly. But I mean, I think guys are stepping up to the challenge. I think a lot of young guys have got a lot of good reps in practice this week. You've seen them get better throughout the week. You know, we also had a couple other guys practice for the first time today, so there might be some guys available on Thursday, but it's just everybody's got to be ready. It's got to be that next man up mentality.
On defense, Quincy LeJay kind of come out of nowhere, the redshirt freshman, didn't have a tackle, and then he was the second leading tackler against NAU.
You know, Quincy, even going back to the spring, has really flashed times of really being able to physically tackle. I mean, you know, he brings that component to the game, and he really stepped up on Saturday against NAU, and he'll have another great opportunity to get some playing time this week.
A lot of names that we weren't familiar with the first couple of games are going to have to be called upon to play some big-time minutes.
That's for sure. Whether it's a Quincy LeJay, it's a Jackson Smith, it's Malachi Fakahua, Jay Sweeten. It's guys have got to be able to step up, and that's what we expect of them.
You're going to hear this from me every single Thursday because this is always what I'm thinking. We are like well over 48 hours away from playing, but we're finished practicing. So you've got to stay locked in. You've got to stay focused. You got to keep thinking about football.
What's been your main message this week?
Our big thing is just trusting the process, believing the process, where we've got to continue to combine great effort, great energy in practice, and execution. And it just doesn't all happen overnight. We've got to keep pushing to get there.
When you look at UC Davis, it starts with their running back, Larson.
There's Larson in the flat. He makes an incredible one-handed catch behind him. He's in midfield to the 40.
He's the best in the Big Sky, one of the best in the country in FCS.
Yeah, he is really good. You watch their film against Cal, and Cal had a tough time tackling him. He's a really good football player. He's someone that we really have to focus on and have to slow down to have a chance to be successful this week.
Here we go. Key words for Saturday.
Execution and effort. And that's really what it comes down to for us.
Okay, we told you about the Trailblazers banged up on defense, possibly missing 5 contributors if they decide not to play after warming up. On the other side, the defense for UC Davis, they are going to also miss 5 players, including a preseason All-American on the Buchanan Award list. His name is Rex Connors. He's a junior from Pleasant Grove High School. He was a teammate of Utah Tech defensive back Jackson Smith. So he's not going to play tonight. But Rex Connors' twin brother is going to play tonight. So got a little Utah flavor here in Davis, California. Okay, moments away from kickoff. You can watch this game on ESPN Plus, or of course you can listen to it on the Fan Sports Radio. Trailblazers are in the tunnel getting ready to come out. We're all set. The kickoff, Utah Tech and UC Davis coming up next on the Fan. Thanks for watching. See you on the radio.
Yeah.